According to the article, Do Violent Video Games Contribute to Youth Violence? Published by Procon.org on July 9, 2018. 97% of kids aged 12 to 17 play video games. Of the 50 top-selling video games, over half of them depict some form of violence. For years, violent video games have been blamed for school shootings, increases in bullying, and increases in people's propensity to act out violently in social interactions. But how accurate is this assumption? Does playing video games really make you more likely to inflict harm on another person? Today, I am here to persuade you that video games have very little, if any, impact on a person's likelihood to behave violently. First, I will be discussing the science that disproves the common behavioral misconceptions surrounding the video game theory. Secondly, I will discuss the causes, such as fear of not knowing. Thirdly, I'll discuss some solutions that our society can adopt to address and hopefully correct this issue. The first problem with the blame game theory is that the public is misled, primarily because there's very little scientific evidence to support the idea that playing violent video games makes people more violent. According to Ollie Border's article, new study shows that there is no link between video games and aggression in teenagers from Forbes, published February 15, 2019. A study at Oxford University studied over 2,000 British 14 to 15-year-olds and monitored their aggression levels while playing video games, and concluded that there was no link between their aggression levels and playing the violent video games. Another thing that contributes to this inaccurate theory regarding the game theory is that there are discrepancies and errors that are not accounted for in some of the studies. Psychology Today's Andrew Fisherman blame game violent video games do not cause violence suggested from July 16, 2019, a study conducted in 2000 which suggested that people are more violently only showed a discrepancy of 2% between the control group and the experimental group. This discrepancy can be attributed to the time it takes people to blink, which is on average 0.1 to 0.4 seconds. Next, I want to talk about the causes. The causes of the problem can be attributed to politics. According to the Associated Press, now there is still no link between video games and violence. From LA Times on August 16, 2019, politicians on both sides go after video games because it is a unifying force, and it's something that they can easily attribute the video game blame theory to. It makes them more likely to do what they're saying. In addition, video games are disturbing to the average person. Like most violent video games, to the average person that doesn't play video games, their little violence can appear very disturbing, which makes people likely to accept the idea that playing these violent video games can most likely make you more violent. Finally, I want to talk about a solution. The solution for this is simple: educate people. The previously mentioned LA Times article Trump suggested that we implement a rating system in 2018, when in fact the Entertainment Software Association developed one with 5 ratings over 20 years ago. These ratings range from E for everybody to M for mature. We need to educate people on the true data and be willing to admit that there is no definitive reason, at least for now, to explain why mass shootings and increases in violence are occurring. I hope that the next time someone says that video games turn kids into killers, you look further than the conclusion that most people have accepted to be the truth. Thank you.